The little library on Elm Street, in the heart of Elm Street, there stood a quaint little library. It wasn't grand or modern, but its charm lay in its timelessness. The red brick walls held stories from centuries past, and the large wooden door creaked melodiously every time someone entered. 10-year-old Mia was one of the library's most loyal visitors. Every Saturday, she would ride her bicycle to the library, her backpack bouncing with excitement. But Mia wasn't there just for the books. She loved the librarian, Mrs. Harper, a kind-hearted woman with silvery hair tied in a bun. Mrs. Harper always had a book recommendation for Mia. "This one," she would say, handing Mia a novel, "has a character who reminds me of you, curious and courageous." Mia would devour the stories, always eager for more. One chilly December morning, Mia noticed something unusual. The library lights were off, and a sign on the door read, "Temporarily closed." Mia's heart sank. She cycled home, determined to find out what had happened. At home, her mom explained, "Mrs. Harper is retiring. She's moving to Florida to be closer to her family." The words hit Mia like a thunderclap. The library without Mrs. Harper? It didn't seem possible. Mia couldn't imagine losing the place where she'd discovered her love for stories. So, she decided to act. That evening, she crafted flyers that read, "Save our library." The next day, she handed them out at school, pinned them to bulletin boards, and even taped them to streetlights. The community responded. Parents, children, and even retirees came together, rallying to keep the library alive. They organized bake sales, garage sales, and donation drives. Mia watched in awe as her little campaign grew into a neighborhood movement. By the end of January, enough funds were raised to hire a new librarian and refurbish the library. On the reopening day, Mia stood at the entrance, holding a bouquet of daisies for Mrs. Harper, who had come to see the celebration. "Look at what you've done," Mrs. Harper said, her eyes glistening. "You've brought the community together." Mia grinned. "You taught me that stories can change lives. I just wanted to make sure the library could keep doing that." The new librarian, a young woman named Miss Reed, greeted Mia warmly and promised to continue the tradition of recommending books. The library was more vibrant than ever, its shelves brimming with new books and its rooms echoing with laughter. And as for Mia? She became the library's youngest volunteer, shelving books, reading to toddlers, and inspiring others to fall in love with the magic of stories, just as she had. Moral of the story: sometimes, a small act of love and determination can unite a community and preserve what matters most.